All right, we're live. Welcome to session 0 of Star Trek Athena. We are going to go around and introduce ourselves real quick. So, obviously, my name is Darren Drader. I'm a game designer, been doing that for a couple of decades, and moving on. James, you're next.
Hi, I'm Jame. I have a really good habit of muting my microphone right before I'm called on. That is a superpower of mine. I've been working in games and publishing for about 13 years now as an editor and writer. I'm very excited to join this because I don't usually get to play very often, so this is a nice change.
All right, Eric, you're up.
I'm a park ranger by trade and live in remote, beautiful places with terrible connectivity. So hopefully finish up my connection, and I look forward to playing the game.
Yeah, you break it up.
Yep,
Terrible connectivity, huh?
indeed.
All right, Ariel.
Hi, I'm Ariel. Sorry, I'm a dog walker. I really enjoy role playing. I get really into it. So I'm really looking forward to playing for all you guys. I get really into.
Sorry, guys. I'm getting the link for the Twitch, and that caused an echo. So let me just mute that. And
You guys. I get really into.
sorry, guys. I'm getting the link. Okay, that should be fixed. I hope. Okay, now everybody's muted. Somebody say something.
Something.
Okay, we're good. Right.
It's good to know we're all predictable.
All right, sorry, I'm just trying to get the link so that people can see where we're at, and there we go. Okay, Ariel, you introduced yourself. Jim, you're up.
Okay, so Jim Cushman. I am in no way a professional of any kind. I like to play games. I like to play pretend, and I especially love the Star Trek universe. So I'm looking forward to playing with everybody and having some fun, rolling some dice.
Very cool. I'm sure most people don't know, this game will be starting shortly after the events of Star Trek Nemesis. Not that has a lot of bearing, but that's just kind of where we're at in the timeline. And we haven't really talked a lot about roles yet that you want to play. I know that me and James kind of discussed that she will be the captain. Is that actually a role that you want?
Yes, sorry, mute button.
Awesome. So she'll be the captain. Other than that, the other roles are up for grabs.
I was thinking mechanic.
It's like an engineer.
Yeah.
Chief engineer.
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
I'm comfortable with either con or operations.
Okay.
Which is kind of security / engineering, but it's I'm pretty flexible on this one.
Mm-hmm. Eric, science?
No.
That's kind of where I was, leaning either engineering or science. I have a species in mind, but beyond that, open slate still.
So what were you thinking?
Benzite.
Nice.
Benzite. Okay. Interesting.
I was actually considering that one.
we are open to all species, so we could have two.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
That would, but no, I'm actually looking at
Insufferable for everyone else.
Yeah, absolutely would be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking at an Afrosian who is what Star Trek was it? It was one of the original series motion pictures.
Star Trek 6.
It was the one where he's the president.
Yep.
The president. He's got the kind of long mustache and long white hair.
Yep.
That kind of deal. Mm-hmm. With the ridges in between the widow peak.
Played by Eric Foreman's dad. Yep.
Yes, that's the one I'm going for.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
And I think since it sounds like it's pretty open, I'll go for pilot/con.
Okay.
As far as mine.
All right. James, you thinking human, or what are you thinking here?
I mean, depending on what you have in mind, I was actually looking at potentially going Romulan, if there's space for that, just because, I mean, not that it's my personality or anything, but...
I can think of no reason why a Romulan couldn't be in Star Trek. As a matter of fact, in my fanfic, which I like to talk about a lot, I actually have a Romulan officer. So yeah, totally cool. Ariel?
Oh, I had a funny idea and I wanted to run it by you. I was thinking a Klingon raised by... Oh my god, I've been binging and I can't remember the fucking name of this race. Ferengi.
Ferengi.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
There's no reason he can't be a Ferengi. I think that at the end of DS9 there was all of one Ferengi in Starfleet, but that doesn't mean there won't be any others. So, have you come up with names?
Binga G Yuka.
Okay, you'll need to put that in chat.
Yeah. Hello,
I think we should probably all put ours in chat.
Probably the best idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually our intro video, I'm pretty much done making it. The only thing I need is your character names in there. And then I'll be able to finalize that and put it up on YouTube. And then we'll play it at the beginning of every session. So, like, personality-wise, have you guys thought about your characters at all?
So, I'm planning as captain to kind of lean into the... usually I go with much more like tanky or DPS characters, but I'm planning to lean more into the commander, less fighty, actually makes good decisions, doesn't just, run into things. So this should be a challenge for me.
So diplomatic.
I'm sure I will still make terrible, entertaining decisions. Plenty, though.
Oh, that's fine. That's kind of what it's all about. But yeah, I mean, you can pretty much go anywhere from Kirk to Picard on the spectrum, I think. And I would argue they're both very different. But there's no reason that you have to embody any particular personality traits as captain. Eric, what do you think? What's your character all about?
I depends. It's because they're awkward as hell, and that's the. And then the idea of two thumbs on each hand is pretty cool. Again, beyond that, I haven't figured him out yet.
Okay, so you said that you're going science officer, right?
Yes.
I mean, would you say that he's like hyperlogical, like a Vulcan, or highly trained, just in general, or what? Any thoughts on that?
probably autistic to a fault, hyper focused, more, in that this is the thing I'm studying right now. I'm studying this. I don't care about your thing.
Makes sense.
How does that sound?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Jim?
I'm kind of. I don't know if it's going to be anything too one way. It'll kind of be a jack of all trades type mentality. Wanting to do everything, excited, but definitely going to lean into the I'm a pilot, and if you don't know, I'm going to tell you that I'm a pilot.
Mm-hmm. Kind of a hot shot.
Mm-hmm. Little bit. I'm going for an older age, so probably not as much hot shot, but still plenty of gumption.
Okay. So not full Tom Paris.
Yeah, no. No. Experienced Tom Paris.
Which we kind of get at the end of the series.
Mhm.
But yeah, makes sense. What about you, Ariel?
Fuck. I was thinking about that question, and the second you asked, I forgot what the question was.
Personality-wise.
Oh,
kind of what you have in
I'm
mind.
thinking pretty serious. I was thinking just very like kind of obsessed with like protocol of just like, dude, this is how it's done. This is my baby of a ship. Like, you're gonna do it right the first time. Like, one of the things that they have as a career event is like a death of a friend, and I was thinking that it was done by faulty wiring, like someone was cutting corners. So like they're kind of like hyper focused on that.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Okay. And then, character connections is something we might want to talk about. One thing I was going to mention is this is kind of a continuation. Well, I wouldn't say a continuation, but we're gonna take the previous campaign I did that I didn't stream, but it was on 10th Fleet, and kind of use that for background. And I was thinking, since Eric was actually part of that campaign, at least for part of it, it might be kind of fun to have the background of his character be that he transferred from that ship. What do you think of that idea?
Yes. That sounds great.
Cool. That was the Callisto, and it will still be out there in the sense that it hasn't retired, but we're probably not going to run into it again. Looks like we lost Ariel.
Okay.
There we go. What about the rest of you guys? Do you guys want to build any character connections or anything like that?
You're on
Jamie,
mute again.
no.
Yep.
I've been so good about not doing that. I'm happy to be connected to anyone who finds it useful. So, yeah.
Oh, this is going to be a newly launched ship, and you being the captain, you got to choose who was going to serve aboard your ship. So either A, you've served with them before probably, or you know them somehow, or maybe they just have a really impressive resume.
Or I went for the misfits that, had records.
Nothing wrong with that approach either.
I am an upstanding citizen.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely believe it when someone goes out of their way to tell me that they haven't committed any crimes.
Yet.
Keyword yet, or you haven't been caught for them yet.
Yeah.
Hey, it's not a big deal until you break the Prime Directive. So
I can't just open that drawer. I didn't know when he learned how to do that.
your cat did that?
Yeah, he just opened it.
Okay, so we're assuming that We're assuming that most of the ship is going to be kind of misfit type then. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that.
Very
The layer
cool.
of Mistress Minjin.
Yeah, especially on the Luna class, like it tracks.
Yeah. It actually tracks really well if you look at the books.
Yeah.
Because for those who don't know, the Titan novels were, it's Riker's ship after Nemesis, but that's what the Luna class launched as. And that was actually intended to be the most diverse ship in Starfleet. And they had pretty much,
Everything.
everything.
All of the species.
Mm-hmm. The meat eaters, the vegetarians, the lizards, everything.
A couple good cannibals for a good measure.
I don't remember a cannibal, but that doesn't mean they're
Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I mean, under the right amount of stress, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also just going to apologize in advance. My dog is starting to snore very loudly, not very far away. So if you hear some weird sounds, it's probably him.
Okay, I haven't heard it yet, so no big deal there. So another question here I've got for you is, what's everybody's knowledge level of Star Trek? I'll go ahead and go first. I kind of got into Star Trek back in, what was it, 1982 when Star Trek II came out. That got me into the original series. Next Generation came, and I've pretty much been with it ever since. Read a ton of novels, so knowledge-wise, I'd say that I'm kind of up there. Eric, I think you're kind of in the same boat, right?
Yes.
We have known each other
not
most of our
quite
lives.
encyclopedic, but close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Jim?
So I'm similar boat. I've got there's not a television ready story of Star Trek that I've not watched. Read a good handful of the books. The novel, or not the novelizations, but the novels. Yeah, played Star Trek Online, so I've got some of the lore there. Pretty much anything that's content Star Trek wise, I'm paying attention to it.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Ariel?
Okay. Shit. I'm sorry, my memory is just being a shit tonight.
I was just asking kind of what your base Star Trek knowledge is.
I was actually looking up like the Star Trek so I could like list out all the ones I know. I have experience with Star Trek Enterprise, the newer movies, a little bit of Next Generation, a little bit of Voyager, like the teensy bit of Deep Space Nine, and some funny episodes of the original Star Trek.
I have to admit that there are still a few episodes of Deep Space Nine I haven't watched. I've seen all of everything else. Actually, I take that back. Voyager, I'm doing a rewatch of the entire series, and I've got 6 episodes left, and we're at the point in the series where I actually had stopped watching. So I got a couple of those left too. So, what about you, James?
My Star Trek is about 15 years old. I used to be a huge fan, but kind of stopped following it so much a few years ago. So I'm rusty. I'm very much like the classic older Star Trek. So yeah.
Well, the cool thing about Star Trek is it doesn't matter if you've got encyclopedic knowledge of it or if you've got just a little bit of a background on it. you know, it doesn't matter what era you're in, Star Trek is still pretty much Star Trek. And one of the things I like about it is it's an optimistic future, as opposed to that other game that we're doing, Fallout, which is kind of the opposite.
I mean, it's optimistic if you're a nihilist.
I'd say it's actually a little more optimistic than that, even. Because, I mean, sure, everybody on Earth almost was wiped out, but then Fallout's all about, like, rebuilding civilization and, kind of getting rid of the people who want to do bad things in the absence. Anyway, we're not talking about Fallout. So the next topic I've got are safety issues. Does anybody have any? Is there any subject matter that we flat out need to avoid? And as for me as a game master, I generally try to avoid being creepy in general. So there's that. But if there's anything like specifically that you do not want to happen, speak now.
I'll go in. Anything non-consensual type stuff. I don't need that in my pretend life.
Agree.
Holy.
I prefer to either stay away from or have a good advance warning of any like major atrocity type things. Just because I have spent some time working with some things that leave that kind of a sensitive subject. Am I echoing for anyone else?
Actually, it sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little echo, but the stream is what matters.
But yeah, that's the only thing that I really have, just an advance warning if there is anything, so that if I'm sharing the link, I can warn people.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I'm going to be honest with you right here. There is some subject matter I'm looking at for session 1 that may involve something along those lines. Maybe not full-on atrocity, but questionable. How do you put this? Let's just leave it with questionable orders.
That's fine. Just I don't want to get into detailed stuff. Like I'm good with some Fade to Black on that. I'm fine with it being in there. I just don't want to like get into really detailed war crime level stuff.
Oh yeah, that's not me.
I mean, I'm sure. Just being clear.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Well, cool. I don't have a whole lot more to go over. I mean, this is session 0. We're not really starting things until next time. Does anybody else have anything else you want to talk about before we call it good?
Do we want to talk?
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Do we want to talk a little bit about just kind of what the schedule is going to look like for people who are watching, what sort of time expectation there is, anything that would be good for us to prep for as far as session 1?
Time-wise, usually sessions are going to go a couple hours. I know that in-person tabletop sessions will often go 3, 4, 5 hours. The average viewer doesn't really want to sit around for more than a couple hours at a time, I think, and I think that we should respect that and kind of work with that. As far as how often we're going to get together, I'm thinking every other week. I'd like to go next week so we can get session 1 in, but then after that it'll be every other week, and then if something's going to come up, please let me know as far in advance as possible, just so we can kind of set schedule and the expectations and all that. I'm not a huge fan of last minute cancellations, although sometimes they do happen, and we did just have one in the Fallout game, and he had a good reason for it, so it is what it is. But like I said, if there's going to be an absence,
Darren,
I have a thing. Because of health things, I can't really do sessions longer than like 4 hours. I'm And if I lose color, you got to tell me because that means I need to lay down. But other than that, I'm fine. It's fatigue based and pain based, but it's not actively harming me, so you don't have to like worry. I just will need to lay down.
Okay. I mean, we're only going to go a couple hours at a time anyway, so we don't need to worry
Yeah.
about those marathon sessions.
Yeah. I've just noticed I'm good around 4 hours, and that's a mark that I try and aim for.
Mm-hmm.
Or less.
I'm going to be out in the wilderness and off the grid next Wednesday. So that kind of messes up. Trying to get session 1
You're getting
right
me
away.
already.
Sorry.
You're getting me already.
Yeah.
Okay, then. It'll be a week after next.
Now, that's the day before Thanksgiving. Is that okay with people? Yeah.
I am. I can't remember if that's if I'm doing Christmas or Thanksgiving with the in-laws. So I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay.
Like, I think it's Christmas, so I'm like 50-50.
Okay. As far as I'm concerned, the day before Thanksgiving is okay. Thanksgiving itself, obviously, is not. Any other thoughts?
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I should be able to make that work.
Probably see cooking going on in the kitchen behind me because my mom will be here, but
Reasonable.
Oh, actually, maybe not, because I'm supposed to be we got a local basketball game. And that's my wife's last night before major surgery.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean, last night out, I feel so bad for this. But yeah, I think the 24th is bad. God, we're a meme. I think we're a meme now.
I know, that's what I was about to say. It was just like, wow, we didn't even make it to session 1 before we became the meme. Like, this is amazing.
Well, I mean, I've followed other streaming games, and I've noticed that they tend to get canceled 50% of the time anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much.
As long as we're having fun, that's the important part.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, we can that makes sure we have plenty of time to do our characters, and we should probably just, in the chat, talk about it, get familiar with our, each other, character and stuff.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Is everybody pretty familiar with the game, the actual gameplay?
Fairly.
Okay.
I've played these kind of games before, but it looks like a different system. I looked at the quick start stuff.
Oh, you were playing Cyberpunk Red, weren't you?
Yeah, I was playing Cyberpunk Red. I played Pathfinder. I played traditional D&D. I've played Malifaux. I've played Masquerade. And I forget what the werewolf one was called.
So, Star Trek is based on the 2D20 system by Modiphius. It's really not hard to wrap your head around. Basically, you get you've got your attributes and you've got your skills, and you can match any attribute to any skill. And then you roll your D20. You get two dice, and then you try to you take your skill and your attribute and you add them together, and that's the number that you try to roll under. And each time you do that with a D20, that counts as a success. Now, some rolls you need more than 1 or 2 successes. In that case, I kind of tell you, hey, you need 2 successes, or you need 3, or if it's really hard, you need 5. And then from there, in Star Trek, you can spend momentum to gain extra dice, and that'll give you more of an opportunity to score a success. And the nice thing about the way that Roll20 handles it is everything's automatic on your character sheet. So all you got to do is click a couple things, hit a button, and then it gives you the output. So it's very easy. I would say even easier than the Fallout character sheets. And I'm sure that once we get to it, it'll take y'all maybe a half an hour to figure out how things work.
It might be useful to just note that I am dyslexic, so there may be some exciting moments where I just completely forget how everything works.
Dyslexic buddies.
Yay! We can both look at the sheet and go, "What the hell was I doing?"
He's like, I have problems with regular words, and you're giving me made-up ones.
I'm a professional editor who is dyslexic. I make choices.
And you're good too. I've seen,
I'm
seen
something.
Your stuff. You edit clean. I mean, very, very well. So that's really good for somebody who's dyslexic. I didn't know that.
Thankfully, I know how words should look. Like, I can tell when they're wrong. I can't spell them well to begin with, but I can tell when they're spelled incorrectly. So.
Yeah, that's the most frustration part. It's like,
Yes.
fuck, I had this one moment that describes it perfectly. Somebody went like, you fail so hard, you don't even know how to spell fail. And I immediately went F-A-G-Y at fuck. Because immediately I knew it was wrong.
I do this with things like ceiling or shield all the time. Like, all right, I'm just going to write this down and then tell myself how to actually spell it. So.
Oh, and then when you change fonts and you're going like, this G no longer looks like a G.
Or this word no longer looks like a real word. If I'm doing, like I'm working on a game system right now where I'm having to change a lot of capitalizations. And about 30 instances in, I'm just like, this is not a real word. I refuse to believe that character is a real word. Anyway, sorry for derailing. I'm sure that will never happen again.
Oh, it's okay.
No, not at all. That isn't my specialty.
All right. It sounds like the mouse has made a reemergence or reappearance out there. For those who weren't aware, before we started the stream, I was interrupted by the fact that there is suddenly a live mouse in the house because of one of my cats, and as far as I know, it hasn't been tracked down and shown the door just yet. So, yeah, I think that's still going on. Anyway,
good luck with that.
Yeah. Yeah, as I said before, I've got 4 cats. I'm sure that it will reappear sooner or later. Mice don't last long in a house with cats. All right, is there anything else anybody wants to talk about here? So what I'll do is I'll get you the invite link for the Roll20 game. And then once you have that, I need to set up a character for you. And then, the character is basically just going to be blank and you can fill it all in. And the character generator that's online, you can just copy things from that to Roll20. And then we'll be all set up. And it looks like we're probably down for the next 2 weeks because of schedules and whatnot, and holidays. So we'll probably be back
Just
after
do
that.
December 1st.
Yeah, December 1st.
Work.
December 1st definitely works for me.
Good. Yep.
Should be good for me.
All right, I'm good with that. If I actually get it in my calendar right now.
Oh, yeah, I should put that in my calendar.
Book it now.
Book it now. Okay. Just for clarity, at 7 o'clock on what day?
Wednesday.
Well,
Let's make
yeah.
sure.
Wednesday,
Yeah, let's
1
make sure we
December.
stick with the Wednesdays.
December.
December 1.
December 1.
And that's Pacific time.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
All right, very cool. Well, I think if we've concluded our business, let's go ahead and do our outros and call it a night. So, I'm Darren. I'm a game designer. I also stream. It's something I like to do for fun. That's pretty much me. James, go ahead.
I'm Jame. I apparently am going to be the captain of this misfit ship, and you will probably hear very loud dogs barking in the background at least once.
Jim?
I'm Jim. I'm ready to pilot this bird all over the place, and I'm looking forward to pretending with everybody.
Very cool. Ariel?
Uh, I'm Ariel. I'm going to really enjoy this game. I'm going to run this ship as hard and as fast and as awesome as possible.
Very cool. Eric?
And Eric, and I'll be the Benzite science officer, and I look forward to figuring out how much that be.
All right, very cool. Before we sign off, I would like to give a couple of shout outs here. Shout out to Cyberpunk Uncensored for being awesome and now for contributing a player to us. Very cool. We love you guys. You're awesome. Also, thank you to Modifius Entertainment for doing the Star Trek game. Other than that, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. So, bye everybody.
Bye.
December.
Bye.
Bye.